That and hello everyone, welcome to 3 of the OCC. Here we have the Ohio Warriors facing off against TFD TV. That's an easy one to say 5 times fast. Casting tonight is the master man of class and yours truly, Det. We look forward to a fantastic game this evening, and we'll see how it all plays out.
I mean,
Now,
it's Overwatch. That's good, right? Should play out correctly.
it should, but I have played comp before. Those
True. But this ain't
those
comp,
games
is
should. It's
it? But
not.
this
It's
ain't
not.
comp, is it? Give me, hey, let's give these teams some credit. They've gone beyond that point where they just do whatever.
That is correct. Now we did speak with NW Trent before the match, kind of getting a little idea of what they're going to be doing tonight. They do only have 6 players who are available this evening, but I believe TFD TV is in the same boat. They are
Yeah.
missing Artankia, who was described to us as their very aggressive main tank that is their best when running goats. So we'll see how they can manage to set up without their big main tank.
Who says they even want to run goats anymore? I mean, we've seen so many changes come through. I mean, you don't necessarily have to. We get to Nepal's Shrine here. Nepal's Shrine has been a relatively goats favored map, but it's open enough that you could run something else. So we'll see. I mean, I don't think that Junkrat will come out, but that would be a hell of a pick there.
No, it would be, but stranger things have happened, and a lot of people really like to play Junkrat.
They do, and I mean, it's not the highest of tiers that we have here. I mean, we don't obviously know any of their SRs, but it's not a premier division, so we can assume that they're not as coordinated and perfected as they are in Overwatch League, which means that Junkrat is a much more viable option and to thrive on that chaos. However, for now, it does seem that we have some Reinhardts on the field. We have some maybe some McCrees, but I'm guessing we're just going to see a lot of heavy matchup. Although, that being said, could be that we see some DPS come out on the left side here.
And BioLizard going crazy with that Torbjorn pick, huh?
5, 4.
Oh, and he switches to the hamster right before.
1.
But we see this double tank DPS setup, so they're going to have the double hit scan, sort of the flanker hit scan, the tracer, and then the longer mid-range hit scan for McCree. Going out with this also the double main support in a way, and then the main heal, not main support, and then versus goats. So Ohio Warriors kicking it off here with the standard 3-3.
Alrighty, and so we're looking in. Jenkins running out, no more recall for him. But it looks like we're going to be taken into a little bit of Swing City here. Brigitte goes down, and Quirke loses his D.Va mech, so TFD is up a man here. It's interesting to see them not go super aggressive on top of a 5-man. D.Va gets her mech down as J-How falls, but it looks like the res is going to come in time. And Jenkins and Greeny both fall. Here comes the hamster, just trying to stall as much as he can, I guess. Trent takes down J-How again, and the hamster just doing hamster thing. Already has his mines, but dropping the beat should take care of that. Looks like he's just going to spin around point and... No. He's going to get out of there, making the smart move.
Yeah, doesn't want to give any more of that ult charge. And that was a nice first fight, obviously for the Ghost composition here of the Ohio Warriors. But TFD TV not walking out empty-handed. They do have a lot of ultimates to work with, and those DPS ultimates could be very impactful. Another pulse one coming soon from Jenkins. They did use the mines though, so they might want to have those back. But it's a nice move to start it off from BioLizard.
Here we go. Here comes High Noon. Here's hammered down into a shield, which gives Steelgrass an opportunity to really get some value out of that hammer down. Noah takes down Syzygy, and the Mercy logo snail pulls his ult. Jenkins manages to stick to Zarya, but in a lost fight, so you kind of have to question the use of that.
A little bit more high mobility, so they might be able to get back into the fight a little bit sooner since they lost the players, well, earlier as well. But the Zarya is going to be back soon, and then they're just going to be a number down because Jenkins just fell as well. And this is not looking great here for the side of TFT TV.
And TFD doesn't have anything to really stop themselves from going, just dying miserably to that Zarya ult that is ready and has been ready for quite some time.
I do like that Pharah switch though. That's been very impactful against his composition. It's just going to be Jehao in the graph here. So he's going to live, it looks like. And yeah, the high noon comes out. We'll probably not get anything because of that sound barrier, but they still are making them move around a lot.
Another set of mines from BioLizard, but here comes the nuke from D.Va. Now, it looked like a desperation nuke, just kind of looking at where it was dropped. Farah's just trying to do her best with balls, and Jehao gets the nano, slapping around in the middle there. Blocks the shatter, but not for the mercy. Manages to charge Steel Grass, gets a hammer down.
Oh, nice one.
NW Trent just trying to survive there. And here comes Brigitte. She's going down as well, and it looks like TFDD is finally going to get some points on here.
And that was all in the tanks and the Ana. I mean, CYG. Wow, that's a CCG? I think that's what you want to call it.
Is generally how I pronounce it.
Yeah, I think that would be a nice one. But yeah, the Nano came out, the healing came out very well, and then it was just, in the meantime, BioLizard taking down both the Lucio and the Zenyatta on the other side. So the tanks and Ana really cleaning that one up. But now they're gonna have to run into one more tank essentially from the other side. So let's see if this works out for them. Jake is with the barrage ready though.
Oh, the barrage, but only gets to the Zenyatta before she falls as well to her own self. Greeny manages to take out the Lucio. Jehao kills the other Reinhardt. Now Quirky does kill Jehao, but it's just Trent on the point now for Ohio Warriors. Taking that death and more points on the board for TFD TV. A really great turnaround.
It is. What we're seeing for both of these teams is they dragging out fights a little bit longer than they might have to, feeding like more old charts over, jumping off maps sometimes. Like the resets haven't really been that quickly, unless the other team forces them to just roll over them and then they're all dead, and that hasn't really happened so far. So there's something to work on for both teams already there, but they have some ultimates on both sides. NW Trend's graph really needs to get more than it did last time, because last time they didn't get any kills from that.
Not a single one, and just had the Reinhardt stuck in it for just a second, really. Here comes the Strands with the grab. Now, here's a really interesting situation. Farah manages to kill Zenyatta. NW Trent takes down the Farah and Jehao. Steelgrass takes down Syzygy. Trent kills Greeny. Some mines take down Quirky. And Zarya takes down Logo's Snail as well. NW Trent really giving them the business, so to speak. Taking it back, 99 to 99. We'll see if they can get back to the point. Here comes Jehao on the Rhine charging in, but he is alone. Farah falls to Whitaker on the Zenyatta. Jehao finally falls to Trent again. Mercy just trying to stall with BioLizard on the point, but I don't know if the hamster is really going to be able to do a whole lot against all this crowd control. Ryan misses the charge, but Lucio's trying to boop around as much as he can. Here comes the nuke, takes down Jenkins on the Farah, and Syzygy falls Trent. Excellent play there by Ohio Warriors to keep the point there at the end.
Yeah, they do get the first point control there, but that's really in that last fight. That's where you see where not only the power of the Zarya ultimate, but is the power of those sustaining ultimates comes in. Both like the Transcendence, the sound barrier, the rally, like everything was used there, and it was just more powerful than what they had on the other side. What I will say though is it was a nice change of pace, and also I think a strategy that threw Ohio Warriors a little bit for a loop, throwing out that fire on that McCree. And it looks like Jenkins is going to go for the Hanzo this time around. So not going to the sky again, which I'm curious why the choice is being made, but it could work out very well. I mean, Hanzo is known for doing a lot of spam and doing it in like a very quick succession, just like Farah does. But Green Knight staying on the McCree might be just what they really like to run.
And another reason why the Pharah switch is curious is they had nothing really to deal with her. Yes, the Zenyatta got her a couple times, but she had free reign for the majority of the map. Here we have TFD taking that high ground. I don't know that they're getting a whole lot of value, but their ultimates do seem to be charging up. The point immediately goes to the Ohio Warriors. And while they're not necessarily collecting a whole lot of ult charge, they are collecting point charge. And that's, at the end of the day, what really matters.
Definitely is. And Jenkins tries to take a different angle, going over the Hanzo. Already takes over the kill on Whitaker, so that's at least the numbers advantage. And Steelgrass going down, this really opens everything up.
That could really sway the fight. Matamoto goes down to a J-How charge. BioLizard takes down the Brigitte. Jenkins manages to take down the Diva Mech while Greeny goes ahead and finishes it off. And TFD is in control of this point.
I think a lot what we got to consider as well from both the ultimates of McCree and Hanzo is that they can be fired from longer ranges, having the same effect. Whereas Pharah, doing that ult on the point here is, I think I've almost never seen it happen without the Pharah dying. And the McCree and the Hanzo can do it from a little bit more of a safe position in most situations. So that might be a thought process. Also putting Logo Snail in a little bit less of a compromising position sometimes. But there's a Dragon throwing this in the middle of the team.
Just zoning the point while the Nano Rhine goes to Swing Town, baby. Just swinging at everything he can see. Not doing a whole lot, but does manage to take down the Diva Mech. Noah falls on the Brigitte. NW Trent takes down Syzygy. Jenkins, with one machine gun arrow, takes down NW Trent and Zenyatta. The Lucio falls as well, and Anna is rezzed, so they've got everybody back up here ready for the next fight.
Yeah, and a big deal why you want the Dragon is also because you have the grab, so you could potentially combine the two. They don't have the Dragon just yet, but they could just charge that up. That is something that's possible.
But we all do know that one Zenyatta ult can completely nullify that entire thing, unless Syzygy does land a beautiful nade.
Oh, another kill to Deadeye. Green Knight has been getting a kill with every one of them, I feel, so far.
Every single one. I wish I got half as many Deadeye kills as he did.
Oh, the Shatter.
A big Shatter going down, taking down all the squishies, taking them to Swing Town. 88. It's gonna make it pretty high, close to 100 before Ohio Warriors can even get back. It might even get all the way there. Oh, and there's the grab. But a counter
grab.
Into the iris.
Nothing doing. Great match by TFD TV there.
I love seeing those zoning graphs. They're like, oh yeah, we can make it, and no, you can't. It's not gonna happen. It's just a big deny. It's it's not even a disrespect move. It's just a very nice move to make. But yeah, it's that's interesting. So there are a few switches that obviously came out there. You know, Jenkins going over to the Hanzo and the BioLizard on the Zarya. So they made a few switches for some more synergy, and they just I felt they really played to the geometry of the map rather than playing to what works best against their comp. They played what works best against their comp on this map. And they're going to stick with it. They're not going to go with the Pharah inside here. And I think this is the map where you really don't see Pharah working that well often.
Especially with Trent switching over to that McCree. Ohio Warriors is taking a bit more of a bunker comp. So it'll be interesting to see how many boops we can get on this map.
And that's it's boops, but it's a lot of these pools, right? So you want to have the halt, the hook, the combining them really well. That's what I'm really looking for here. Can Steelgrass and Quirky combine to get the kill with that? Because one or the other is relatively easy to dodge or block. But if they come out together, the halt just puts you in a position where you cannot dodge or block the hook whatsoever. So that's what I'm looking for here. But I don't know if they're going to be able to get it off because the rotations are pretty smart here. And now they're just going to go straight into the point.
From Ohio.
Oh. Over both teams, really. Quirky. Oh, the nice anti-nade. That was huge.
That was a huge anti-nade for Syzygy there. Going on. J-House charging, but he's not going to get any value out of that as he falls.
Get in there.
NW Trent takes down Greeny, which is interesting because Greeny's been so dominant. Jenkins takes down Noah before Trent takes down Jenkins. And Syzygy being the last one left, just falling to everybody on Ohio Warriors.
That's something you don't see a lot of, the Nano Hanzo, or the Nunzo, as I like to call it. But still nice to see. What we're gonna see
Nano
here,
Hanzo
though.
with that machine gun arrow, very deadly.
Yeah, he did get a kill out of it quite quickly, but then there was a shield in his way, so even a Hanzo cannot burst that one that quickly with even with the Nano. Anthony doesn't hit anything from Syzygy this time, but he has been on point with those so far, so we'll see if those come back to haunt him. And they rotate behind him again, and now the Risen Shield has just been pushed up. Oh, but Syzygy wasn't.
Oh, and with the Syzygy falling, that takes down a lot of their healing, but Greeny is able to pop his ult here. I don't think he's going to get a kill this time. Nope, he gets pulled by Quirky.
Oh, Shatter!
Oh, High Noon takes down Logo Snail on the Mercy, and I think Ohio Warriors might win this
brawl.
This
they
is
might lose it
very
as well.
close here. Oh, and then NW Trent falls. It's just Noah and BioLizard. Oh, and
BioLizard gets it with that Manamoto.
Manamoto's able to make it back just in time. Greeny's coming. Is he gonna be able to flash stun that that Lucio? And they finally take him down to get 20% on the point. But then Quirky pulls Jay out.
Actually ending. It never ends. They cannot keep getting away with it. Point split though, so they have to retake it. That's a lot harder.
Oh, but there's the grab. That is a late dragon into that grab. They do have the beat for it to save everybody. Quirky takes down BioLizard, Noah, Greeny. The Lucio falls. Noah takes down Logo Snail. Jenkins is able to take down NW Trent. J-How with a long charge, but he's going into the hole. And this looks like it is going to be game point to Ohio Warriors. A big pull there from BioLizard, able to knock off
not over.
the Moira
not over.
and the Orisa. It's just the Lucio. Logo Snail is able to come back and resist Syzygy on the Lucio, and they take the point back. This is
and
crazy.
This fight's gonna keep going because Syzygy goes so aggressive. Doesn't need to die there, but still does it. BioLizard also going. This fight, they did actually never really regroup at 6 here, either of these teams. I think we've been trying to get that. Oh, BioLizard goes off the map. Oh, you're a little bit too far.
And there is plenty for Ohio Warriors on the point. Greeny's just taking damages, manages to take down Noah and Whitaker with that Deadeye. Quirky's gonna kill Jenkins. It's just Syzygy trying to survive. Here comes BioLizard. We'll see if he can.
Can he do it again? Can he do it again? No, he can't.
That's not that time.
This time the double stun halt was there. They couldn't really do anything against that. Even the Poopa Lucio, like quad CC against the Hammond, yeah. He's not gonna live there. But nicely done. I mean, both teams really showing up there. That's gonna be an interesting series if we keep going. Because let's remember, Control is never the one that sets the tone necessarily for a series.
Oh, and that is entertainment, people. You can't pay for entertainment that good. Great play by J-How there, taking down 5 people.
You can pay for people for a lot of entertainment, but this is one that just comes for free, guys. You don't have to pay. You just watch here on our channel. Just watch it happen. Action live. Tell your friends. Tell them to come online. I mean, it's a Wednesday evening. No one has anything to do.
Right, especially with school out now. What?
Yeah.
You got a job? Work.
Yeah, right.
That's fun.
Yeah, I mean, but even the thing is, you don't need a job because you don't need to pay for anything because this content's free. It's coming to you right from us. It's just, you don't have to pay for it. Twitch TV /Zunk Esports. That's what you're looking at, guys. Zunk Esports presenting this Onomatopoeia Community Cup, and with TFD TV and Ohio Warriors facing off, that's some good entertainment right there. Looks like we're gonna go to Horizon. Next map in the pool. This could be interesting because we have seen TFD TV not really change up that much aside from their TPS lineup and BioLizard. So the one thing you really got to watch out for is, are they going to be more flexible than that? And if they're not, will it work out on any other map than Control? Because Ohio Warriors has swapped things around. They've gone over to that bunker composition at times, which could also be relatively effective on a defensive map like Horizon. So could be that they're going to run out something like that. But then it's going to be up to TFDTV to really change up something of theirs to keep competing with that, because it didn't really look like they had all the answers on Sanctum there.
That's a very good point. And we do have a, instead of going to be D-Man, the Eater come in.
Yeah, D-Man. Let's see what he's got. I mean, it could be a lot of things. So, I mean, that's obviously a switch that's coming in on their TPS lineup. I would say Greeny did pretty good. Like, not gonna lie, that was a pretty good McCree play. It was answered pretty well though from the other side. Like when NW Trent went on it, that was a good McCree as well, and the Hanzos had some pretty good duels. But that might so it could mean a few different things. You know, either they're gonna run something completely different that D-Man fits in better composition wise, or you just had to go and get dinner. Like that's another option you always have. So you don't really know. But let's just assume they have a strategy for this. And the Horizon is the map that they have some pre-planned amazing compositional strategy on that we're just going to be blown away by. And Ohio Warriors is going to have to now deal with the change. They have to. It's not quite the Soul Dynasty move where you just put 6 new players in, but you know, still a change.
And now, checking my notes, what I do know and what I have here is that D-Man also plays McCree. So it'll be interesting to see if he can hold up to the standard of which we've seen and which does provide that entertainment value, or if it's something that's, you know, even a modicum of subpar could change this and sway it completely in the favor of Ohio Warriors.
Yeah. I mean, it is his most played season in last season. It is also his most played hero this season. So I would expect him to also be able to play McCree. But then again, you know, it doesn't always say everything. Like someone plays a hero a lot doesn't mean their win rate's okay. So maybe they just enjoy it. Doesn't look like D-Man. Yeah, so he's gonna stay in. Have we got any other changes? Yeah, so it's actually Green's gonna stay in. And it's actually going to be Jenkins to stay on the bench for a little bit. So that's even another well left-hander thrown at us right there. Actually a right-hander, because you know left-handers are pretty common. But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one. Greeny might also have to show a little more flexibility because we've only seen Greeny on the McCree. So I don't know. It's good.
Looks like we're getting started up here.
Traveling to
On to Horizon.
Lunar Colony.
Horizon. Hey, it's on the moon. That's all I know about the map. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, we have the new version already for like quite a while. The old one, the thing is, it's been so long that I don't even remember what the old version looked like. I kind of do. It's not completely foreign to me, but when they changed this one, I was really like, wait, what? So you're changing all the other routes you can take as an attacker, so the defenders are much stronger on point A, where I never thought that defending point A was that big of a deal. But I don't know, it's grown on me. I like the map. It's not love-like, but it's fine. Like I can deal with it right now.
And it's interesting you say that because I still try to run on the left all the way through straight on.
Yeah, right. No, I know that was possible in the past, but I've just my muscle memory already knows that it's not the case anymore. Like I never make that mistake. I don't make because you also used to be able to do it on the right. You can't do it on the right anymore either. So like there's all these routes. There's 2 routes. There's the key routes you cannot take anymore. But I think it's fine the way it worked out. Because like defending assault maps should be a thing. You shouldn't have to always just be snowballed by everything. So I guess that's fine. And Horizon is an interesting map. If not a great map, it's still an interesting map in a lot of ways.
And so we do have Ohio Warriors here defending first with that Widow and double sniper with a Hanzo as well. Going into
double sniper bunker.
Right? While
It looks
Green-
like it looks like this thing that was coming out on Junkertown a lot, right? Where you had the only thing they're missing is a Bastion, really.
right?
Which normally either I think Whitaker would be on the Bastion in that scenario, Manamoto would be on a Mercy, and they'd have to double sniper Bastion bunker. And then Corki could either be a Diva or a Roadhog. Sometimes they wouldn't even have the Bastion; they just put the Zenyatta or the off support player on the Roadhog. But it's some variation of that.
Now, Greeny goes ahead and falls to a headshot. It'll be interesting to see what D-Man can do here with all that shooty in his face while he's trying to fly around. Greeny falls again, and Trent takes down D-Man on the Pharaoh. Bio Lizard trying to do what he can, but he's got to get out of there. Noah takes down Logo Snail on the Mercy. Matamoto kills J-How on the Rhine, and it's a full reset for TFD TV on this attack.
Yeah,
D-Man
that's,
does switch over to the Hanzo, so we'll see what that can do.
I mean, I definitely understand that switch. I mean, if you're running into this long sightline map where there's a Widowmaker in the defense, you're not going to be wanting to play Pharah. Like, as much spam as you can do on the shield, Hanzo can do just as much, if not more, while being a little bit safer, because him dodging shots and corner peeking is just impossible to hit sometimes.
Oh, tell me about it. Not a fan of Hanzo shooting me in the face. Bio does knock him off of the high ground, though, and Noah's trying to get back up to the safety of his team. Does
Won't
fall to
make it.
Brady. Oh, and here comes Diva. It's interesting. Oh, and Bio Lizard sectioning off NW Trent, getting that Widowmaker to go away and just trying to protect his team by moving her away. A bit of an advantage here for TFD. D-Man takes down Whitaker as Bio-Lizard finally takes down the Widowmaker. The Diva falls, and then Matamoto solely boops everybody off the point just for zoning. It does look like TFD is going to be able to take at least a tick here.
Yeah, now they'll get the map. I mean, it's hard. This is one of those maps where the run back is far enough that if you kill enough people late, so they killed about 3 or 4 people relatively late, you just win that point. They can't defend it. Even with the rule set change, it's just not worth it, because then you fight too close to the next point.
And how much do you think Lucio's speed boost reduction has to do with that? Because he can't get everybody back to the point quickly enough.
Manamoto was one of the later people to die, so I don't think it would have mattered either way. But the speed boost reduction, if that's the only thing you lose, like the only important thing you lose from the speed boost reduction, I'm okay with that. That doesn't really bother me that much. Nice data from Greeny. Doesn't get... Oh, he actually gets the mech of Corke somehow.
Oh, does get the mech, which is interesting. The Steel Grass does fall to D-Man, and this point looks to be handled right now. Matamoto is just trying to survive, but does run into the mines of Bio Lizards, and they are going to get the second tick here, and we'll see if they can hold them off for that third tick. But here comes the Steel Grass on the Hammond, and he's going down 3 ticks. Impressive by TFD.
It's so nice, but so nice as well that they managed to stun the Wrecking Ball and the Shatter just off the point, so the percentage kept ticking up. Because it doesn't really matter that he's like on or off the point. That actually does matter, and the fact that he was not on point. You can see they're even chatting about it in the game chat. Like, how were you not on point there? But I mean, it just worked out for them. Pretty good time, considering you get a minute less now than you did previously. Normally they would have gotten almost 5 minutes. Now they got almost 4 minutes, but it's still a really good time with the current system going out. So nice attack here from Ohio Warriors. Sorry, no, for TFD TV.
For TFD, yeah.
That's my bad. Sorry.
When you look at 352, that's almost an entire attempt.
On point A.
That's 8 seconds less than you get at the beginning of the game. So if Ohio Warriors does come here and cap with no time left, then TFD's in a really good position. We'll see how well their defense holds up. They are running a more traditional bunker type with that Torbjorn.
I'm interested to see that neither of these teams are pulling out the Bastion whatsoever. Because you would think that would be a relatively popular pick. You know, when these bunkers on defense come out with the static can get set up. Greedy on the McCree. I mean, since McCree's fire rates has been upped, he's almost a Bastion. That is just more mobility. So yeah, I guess that's fine. D-Man will go for this off angle. So they put the turret on one side, they go to the other side, and they have these multiple angles they can fire from. The one thing they do need to watch out for is that they don't get too bunched up and then just get dove on with one thing and just delete it. And they'll be turning on that Sombra. That could be very well be what's going to happen. Because
Sombra switches to the Symmetra, trying to teleport around their bunker. This is very...
Teleport past it. Yeah, like you say, that could be dangerous.
And we see
they can rotate the high ground, but they are ready. They're ready for it, and they know they're planning something. Oh, Whitaker falls!
Oh, Whitaker does fall to D-Man, but they're on the point, and that's a tick already. Here come the Sim turrets trying to do as much damage as they can. D-Man takes down Steelgrass on that Ryan. Matamoto kills D-Man. Greeny takes down Quirky on that Zarya. There are no more Sim turrets. Trent takes down Greeny, but Syzygy takes down Noah. Logo Snail goes ahead and reses Greeny, and Trent falls. So they did get a tick, about 35%.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they get a tick every single time, and they take about the same time they did for this attempt, then they're going to cap the point with about 15 seconds left or so. And that's what's going to happen. Unless there's a change in the defense, obviously. The defense manages to defend the point in time next time, then they will need... Oh, good attempt.
And here comes the Symmetra wall, just trying to protect them as much as it can. Everybody getting through this time. BioLizard heavily taking damage throughout the course of his ult. Greeny takes down Trent on that Symmetra. The Steelgrass gets pulled but doesn't fall. Here comes Molten Core, just taking over that point and leaving a mess behind. TFD TV just handling business here.
Yeah, nicely done. I mean, they don't even need... I know Turn now goes over to the Widowmaker because they know the Symmetra trick's not going to work anymore. And they really should have gotten more out of that first push, because they really could have. But the fact that Whitaker went down straight away really hampered their progression, because he still hasn't got the Transcendence. He would have had it by now if he was alive during the first push. So they're going to go over to this Sombra Ghost composition. And they have some ultimates to work with.
During Molten Core?
I mean, that was just the thing that helped. Like, not even just Molten Core. Like, sure, that comes out, but just everything. But the anti has been so good from Syzygy.
Oh, and he manages to take it off. He gets nothing from that, despite D.Va being asleep and standing right over top of him. Here comes tick number 2. And they do have 4 people on point. BioLizard gets booped off from that Brigida. J-How drops down. Quirky loses his mech to BioLizard on the Hog. Now TFD looks like they're in a good position to hold here. Steelgrass does fall. Trent takes down Syzygy on the Ana. And D-Man takes down Baby D.Va.
Ooh, they're going both ways now. They're actually trading out, and the attackers have better spawns.
Oh, and Whitaker takes down, and the J-How
Whitaker on fire.
And Greeny. Oh, crazy. Matamoto takes down the turret, and that is first point. Ohio Warriors.
You would love to see that Jonak skin now on Whitaker there, but it's not there, unfortunately. They're gonna have time to get back there, because obviously the respawn counter has been heavily decreased for the defenders. But they'll have to find some ultimates. Most importantly, that EMP, because that's going to be huge if combined with that shatter properly.
Indeed, that could turn the entire thing around. Whitaker does fall to a big hook. Here comes Molten Core. Quirky loses his mech. Noah falls. Quirky and Matamoto both fall to the Deadeye. But at the end of the day, that was at least 2 ults from TFD. 2 big zoning ults that maybe...
That was 4. It was 4. It was both DPS ults, BioLizard's ult. Oh no, J-How... I don't think J-How actually got a shatter up, but like there's at least 3 ultimates then. So that's something they might want back.
That's a lot to commit to one fight. Here comes Rally in. Quirky does get pulled, but he is able to make it back. Does get the charge from J-How. Nobody falls yet. Quirky does lose his mech on that
Where's
D.Va.
the EMP? I'm waiting for the EMP. There is it finally.
But it doesn't take out It doesn't take out the turret, which takes down Quirky and Steelgrass. Matamoto gets hooked, then destroyed by D-Man's turret. And time is winding down. That's a sleep on Noah. And finally goes down to 6ixG. Whitaker falls just trying to hang out in the back, which that's not a bad stagger for TFD, but a very bad stagger for Ohio.
But it's so impressive to me that as powerful as Sombra is as a hero, they're not able to get this EMP off anywhere near the beginning of a fight. It came out when the fight was almost already like 30 seconds going or something. It was very late. So you
right, and it only affected that Roadhog. Here comes another Molten Core. And Noah does fall to a charge from J-Hal. Now, Whitaker's trying to take the point. BioLizard's not paying attention to the point. Matamoto, and here comes the nuke. This will be interesting. Takes down BioLizard. D-Man falls to Matamoto. Logo Snail does res Greenie, but Steelgrass takes down J-Hal. The Deadeye is nullified by Trent, and I think they're going to get the point here. What a cap from Ohio Warriors.
And that kind of came out of nowhere, you know, seeing as they didn't really do much the fight before, but they still had so many ultimates left, and they finally started using them properly, so good on them. You know, they do get the point, but yeah, like we know, it was a little bit less. And now they do get 3 seconds above the normal start time for TFD TV. So, you know, those few seconds that they lost on their first attack, they've gotten them back and more. So that's nice. But we're first going to see the attack here for the side of Ohio Warriors, and they're going to have to do a little bit better than last time, because last time they took about 3, almost 4 minutes to take it.
That's a very good point. Now they only have a minute, so they're going to have to be really quick about it, especially given the bank that TFD has for this entire push. Now, if they fail to get a tick within that 1 minute, then that's a whole lot of time to only get a tick for TFD. Yep. But, you know, that's why they say that's why you play the game.
That is why you play the game. You gotta get. It's an objective-based shooter, so yeah. What is it called by nowadays? Objective class-based FPS, team FPS, something like that. I don't even know.
Generally, I just call it Overwatch.
It's just Overwatch, right? There's people that calling it MOBAs. It's just not.
It's mayhem. Here we go. It's mayhem. Let's be honest.
We're seeing the same thing come out here for the defense. The attackers are going to change something up, though. Both the Shimada brothers in the field. That's interesting, especially with that dive combination. But they need that Nanoblade and Dragon to really open up this point, because the vanilla power of these heroes is decreased a lot in the current meta.
Steelgrass on the dive took a nade and a whole lot of the turret. Corky does lose his mech, then his life. Trent falls to BioLizard. Steelgrass just trying to get out to save his life. Noah's trying to one-on-one over here with the Roadhog. They go out into space, and we'll see if that helps or hurts as 6ixG follows BioLizard, who ends up taking down Noah. Overall, a good hold and no time on the point so far.
Another dive from Steelgrass just gets deleted straight away. I was gonna say, at least Noah built up some ult charge, but he just switches over to Doomfist, so it doesn't matter. And it looks like this is gonna be all but over really soon.
And Quirky does lose his mech there, and Noah on that Doomfist just trying to do what he can, but he just looks like a guy who doesn't know which way is up. No time on the point in that 1 minute. Now we have over 4 minutes for TFD. Can they get a pick?
Yeah, and this is what I alluded to on the control map already, where I said both of these teams have some issues like resetting fights and going into it, just resetting team fights, resetting positioning, just having more fights essentially, because that's what you see in like higher level play. Because they're so coordinated, they will have more fights overall. And that's something that is still happening there. Like just straight away, they had that first fight, and when there was 22 seconds on the clock, there were still some fighting going on, especially from Noah on that Hanzo. He just kept fighting the Roadhog. Right, it's like at some point you just gotta reset, die, like not be in the position where you can be staggered out that much. because that really hampered their next attack. Noah couldn't get in time, and they had to do a very rushed type of dive for Steelgrass. Just went in alone and died on the Winston. So that is something that you see happening, and that's not. I mean, I'm not trying to throw shade on these teams because obviously they're not Overwatch League teams. It's just something that you need to note when you look at this. Like if you have a minute left, every second of that counts, and you cannot keep spending seconds of that fighting a fight or doing a rotation that doesn't net you anything.
And that's a very good point. And the only thing that I have to counter that is I wish half of the teams that I played in comp with had half as much organization as either one of these teams.
That is true. Oh yeah, because but again, it's not comp, right? So we're not expecting.
It's not comp. These people do know each other. Now,
Yeah.
D-Man does come out with an attack bastion against.
Oh, they're doing the Ohio strat. They're gonna teleport onto the point, but they have a bastion with it, so they're gonna try to be more successful.
And here we go. They do only need a tick, and it doesn't look like anybody from Ohio Warriors. Matamoto's on there. Steelgrass is on there, just trying to protect that bastion. Noah is able to take him down. Trent takes out SixXG on that Baptiste. And J-Hal falls with a shot in the back.
But it doesn't matter, right? Like, it just doesn't matter because they know they only need a tick. So they can just like, oh, guys, we're just going to try this. If it works, it's going to be hilarious because we beat them at their own game. But if it doesn't, we still have 3 minutes plus left to do the same, to get the point in a way that we know how to play.
Yeah, and doing that exactly, they are switching over from the Bastion Sim to the Widow Hanzo. Now, they don't have a Zarya here to be able to capture them all up and then take them all down with those dragons. They are staying on the Roadhog. We have a little rotation to the right from TFD, while a good rotation, not poking on the left from the attacker side for Ohio Warriors.
I will say the BioLizard Hog has been a menace, and I would see Greenie being undercover on that Doom discover.
Right
BioLizard turns around. Logo still also helping out there. They do get the pick of CG here.
They do take down SixXG, but also Steelgrass follows, so they have to see that they're man up. Quirky does pull him, and BioLizard falls, but he is getting rezzed right here. Here comes the whole hog from Quirky, and he's nano. This could spell trouble for this fight. Beat drop. Trent takes down D-Man with a headshot. Quirky takes down BioLizard, and this point remains to Ohio Warriors. They're going to have to reset, reconfigure, and rethink what they've got going on. They do have a minute and a half left, but again, as we were saying before, every second of that counts.
Yeah, and they kind of I would say they threw away the ult economy, but the ult economy is good for the defense now because they've been winning 2 fights in a row now, and let's see what NW Trent can do with these infra sides because there's a lot of room for it. And Greenie tries to dodge it, goes to the other corner, then Noah can just jump in.
Greenie goes down from Noah. Now they did switch to that Zarya, but can he get an ult? Can he get a grab in a minute?
They're able just to zone out this SixXG and Greenie combo every single time, so they're just taken out by the Doomfist.
Hard to push with no healers, so J-Hal and D-Man both fall. And there goes BioLizard.
They do reset because they realize they need a push. There was a lot of ultimates used for the defense as well, by the way. They don't have anything to work with besides Noah's Doomfist ult. And while that can result into a clean kill, you don't necessarily have to die to it. Like if you're full health, you can dodge it nowadays. So that's going to be a difficult one for him to land.
That big damage reduction did hurt Doomfist, and as we should all know, you do not contest the point while you're flying above the point. Steelgrass gets hooked. D-Man takes down Matamoto, but Trent takes down D-Man. Noah just going Doom ham, more like it. Killing everything in his sight. Here come the dragons from D-Man. They're going to get to point, but I don't know that they're going to get a whole lot of value. J-Hal falls to Steelgrass, and this is going to be a draw.
Yeah. No, basically the Doomfist and the Hammond cleaned that up every single time. It was always the Hammond going in, distracting them and disrupting them enough so that they used all their CC cooldowns on him. And even if he died, the Doomfist came in afterwards and just cleaned up something pivotal. Because the Hammond can get back really quickly, but the rest of their team, like if you clean up that Ana or that Widowmaker, that was their problem. Every single time the Doomfist came in and killed something. And the only push where he didn't, they got stomped out by the Roadhog of Quirky. They did very well as well. I thought BioLizard was the one that really stepped up on the Roadhog game, but then Quirky just comes in and does it even better.
He said, "Not in my house," and that was impressive from both sides on the defense. Being able to hold it all the way through, especially by Ohio Warriors, holding for 4 minutes and 3 seconds, despite not getting a pick, not getting a tick on their 1 minute of attack.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened there, and we can be very surprised about it. But obviously, both of these teams are very capable of doing whatever they're doing, so that's very nice.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you do as long as you do it well.
Exactly, and we're going to Eichenwald. There's not quite a well there, but it's still, a drop to a river. So sort of the same effect. There's water inside of a sort of a hole. So it's kind of the same thing, right?
Now, speaking of Noah wreaking havoc on that Doomfist, I do know, well, at least I've heard of, I've never been able to do it myself, but that you can flank around on multiple sides with Doomfist on Eichenwald. Do you think that could play strongly into Ohio Warriors' hands on their attack? Especially for the first point.
Yeah, so it's like you can do it on Doomfist, but it's something that it just takes a long time to do. Like with a lot of these things, it often takes long enough to do that you wouldn't consider doing it in most situations. I will say though that depends on how your opponent deals with it. And it has seemed that they are not completely capable of dealing with the Doomfist. At least they had some trouble with it, at the very least. So it's going to be interesting to see whether they are going to adapt anything in their play on the side of FDDTV to maybe try and deal with it. But then again, they did do that a little bit by switching over to the McCree, and he wasn't able to get anything done because of that. Yes, you have stuns in your team, but if you use the stuns on the Wrecking Ball, then the Doomfist can still, do anything with it.
Bring doom with his fist, would you say?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Doomfist will just come in and kill you. That's how that worked. But yeah, let's see.
It looks like after the draw, we're having a little difficulty trying to decide who's attacking and who's defending first here.
It's the same team. As far as I know, it's always the team that has last lost a map gets that privilege again, because nothing has changed essentially. It's like the last map wasn't played in a lot of ways.
Precisely.
Yeah, that's usually how that works.
We are explaining it to the teams.
Yeah.
And we're
not flipping coins. Not flipping coins over here, guys. We've had that era of Overwatch where we flip coins. We don't do that anymore because it's just we all know we don't like it. It's RNG and it just decides something in someone's favor. It's just the same thing. We're gonna go see TFDTV on the attack first because they're already on that side, so they just don't want to switch, which is fine. And let's set the pace on Eichenwald. Let's see if they're getting there.
Now, all that being said, I'm still flipping a coin, but I'm just doing it.
Yeah, I mean, that's flipping your own coin is fine as long as you don't do it to determine anything within an Overwatch match. I'm good with it. Yeah, I mean, we all remember that, right? Like that tense moment where you see the coin flipping on your screen, like getting attack of defense, like basically, am I gonna win or lose? Because that was kind of what it was, and then it almost always landed on the wrong side for me. I don't know what that was. It's just bad luck, I guess. But I'm happy they got rid of that mechanic and they switched some stuff around. But yeah,
that might be the best change they've made in Overwatch because those days.
There's been quite a few changes that might have been better, but also good, or just as good. But that was a very impactful one, like you say. I think that turning on hero limits was also a big deal. Like not being able to run that double Tracer Winston Lucio
Oh, I
composition.
forgot about that. Where you could just go in and just.
there's been a lot of changes. The whole SR system change was pretty good. There's been a lot of things, man. Like it's you keep forgetting how much has happened in these 3 years of Overwatch. And now that we finally see all these like even more changes coming into the game now, you're sort of thinking like, oh wait, where has all this been? But they've been at work. They've done things in the past.
And when you consider all that, how many times has Tracer been adjusted? Of all the heroes who have had multiple tweaks, multiple mechanic changes, Tracer,
She's had a few. So
her pulse
in
bomb
beta,
dropped from 400 to 300. Well, not considering the beta, just the live game.
Sure.
Her pulse bomb switched from 400 to 300 damage.
Yeah.
Ergo, Tracer is the perfect hero.
I mean, that you would say, but yeah, it's a thing.
That is not true, nor my opinion. That's just something I like to shout at people.
It's always interesting to see. I mean, there's been a few more heroes that didn't have that much changed about them. Like Genji is been relatively unchanged, aside from like his animation cancel and triple jump. There's been some things like to his deflect and his Dragon Blade, but I always feel those are more like consistency fixes rather than actual like ability changes, if it makes sense, right?
Right.
So it's not like they
just
changed cooldown timings or anything. It's just, you know, some people can use ping to do something, so we're just making it so it's consistent for everyone. Or it's incredibly annoying when a Genji can do like animation cancels that make him do something way too quickly that no one ever can counter.
Like the 8-mile jump he used to be able to do off a bridge.
Those type of things. And it happens with more things. And sure, quirks are nice in characters every now and then. Some things that are bugs, you're like, yeah, but that would be a nice mechanic or like a nice tech in the game. But a lot of things that have been fixed or like have been changed are like good fixes, in my opinion.
5, 4.
We're gonna see DPS, guys. Both sides. They're running it again. Green and D-Man on the McCree Hanzo. And they're going to run into a McCree and a Pharah on the other side. And the bunker composition again from Steelgrass and Corke.
See how that pharmacy works out for Ohio Warriors. They do only have Greenie on the hit scan, but D-Man can do some damage, especially with that machine gun arrow. 6ixGuns goes down early to that pharmacy. Logo Snail does pull him back up, but that Pharah is just doing some hurts to TFD right now. A good pull there.
It was all set up by the hook from Corke, actually, because the shield of J-How didn't block that one. He got hooked in, and then the Ana could get shot, and other things could get shot by their composition. Greenie just slept now. Don't know if that's going to be finished off by anyone. Doesn't look like it. They tried though, but the bubble was there.
Coming on first, it does look like D-Man has almost got those dragons, so he might be able to zone some things away from the point. Matamoto does pull up that nano, but that's not necessarily a defensive ult there. A brilliant sleep on a flying Pharah, who does go down to D-Man. Corky does take out the Zarya and Biolizard. Logo Snail is able to res 6ixGuns. Corky takes out Greenie. The res is down, as we know. And we are just fighting here again. Logo Snail.
Major flank gets 3 of that. That's insane.
Oh, ridiculous play by Trent there, taking out just about everybody. J-How did fall to that Roadhog, but not a pick. Pretty good.
Dealing with that Pharah was good. Like they did that well, but then Corke's ultimate was amazing. Like he's been getting such good whole hogs, and then NW Trent just walking around on the flank of the McCree, just walked through the yard, like the hunting cabin, just got in there. No problem at all. Just walked around, killed 3. It's like a daily life of a McCree, right?
Oh, J-How gets pulled out again, and Quirky is just having his way with TFD. Noah does take down D-Man, and Biolizard just kind of on his own. There, 6ixGuns does fall to the Pharah as well. Man, Quirky here just really showing up.
I mean, I don't know if it's Gorka showing up or J-How just not knowing that Roadhook can hook and just not shielding anything, because normally you can just right-click as he hooks and you'll block it, because it is a projectile after all.
Oh, does Roadhog have a hook?
Yeah,
How does that work? It pulls people closer.
Oh, the barrage!
Oh, the barrage takes down both healers and Bio Lizard. Trent takes down J-How as well. And this fight should definitely be won by Ohio Warriors. As D-Man falls to Trent on the McCree.
60 seconds remaining.
I don't know, like that was just like nicely set up, and they just weren't ready for it. We do have Green Eat now on the high ground. I don't think they know he's there, and that's a pretty good position to defend against the Pharah from, and also to use the Deadeye. So they could very well use that to their advantage. But they need to get through this gate without the Reinhardt being hooked. That's the main thing.
The Deadeye from Trent takes down D-Man and Bio Lizard. Greenie just trying to save face there, it looks like, as Logos now reses D-Man. Doesn't get anybody. Trent takes down Greenie.
I don't know what value they're going to get out of these ultimates as well. Because like they have to get closer in order to be able to do anything with them. And they're just not able to do so. And maybe Trent goes very aggressive, takes out the Zarya together with Noah. And this looks like it's already a failed push, but they can't go back to spawn. They don't have the time to do it.
Oh, here comes the Dragons. Quirky with anti-heal in the Dragons, but still manages to survive and take down J-How. Trent takes down the D-Man. Greenie falls to Quirky. Matamoto takes down the Logo Snail on the Mercy. And Quirky with a hook on Syzygy and the Ana. And round one is done with no ticks for TFD.
No, they did. They did actually back up 42.4% there. So it wasn't a round without ticks. And that might come back to bite the defenders in their behinds in a little bit. But right now, they're gonna have to defend. And that's gonna be a rough one because 42.4% isn't a lot. It's a little bit more than a tick, so a draw is virtually impossible here. But it's still a thing. Like, you still need to get it, that 42.4%. And we saw just on Horizon how hard it was to get that one tick. Could happen the other way around here. Although I have a feeling it's not. It's just Ohio Warriors have been doing well here with that with their change ups. Like, they're not running the goats anymore. They don't want to. And they don't have to.
And again, without their aggressive main tank, Artankia, who is kind of their centerpiece in GOATs, it seems to be working out all right for them.
Yeah.
And you're right. They did get to the 42.4. It must have been on that sweep around when I was watching Quirky just go crazy on the entire TFD.
Tracer went on the point, and she just back capped that 42.4%. So that's how they got the tick. But it's something. It's not a lot, but it's still something. And it is a win condition after all.
You're right. It's better than nothing.
If it's not a draw condition, it's a win condition, guys. No, it's not exactly how it works, but you know what it is. And they're gonna have G-Man on this Ashe now, so they're gonna run the double hit scan to deal with a potential Pharah, and that is coming out. W Trent on the Sombra again, which hasn't been working out in the past.
Noah falls early, but gets rezzed by Whitaker. So the pharmacy is back up.
They're trying to do this cheeky boop around the point so Steel Grasses gets them, but it just gets taken out. And Greenie is trying to take this aggressive position, and together with D-Man, they take down Noah. Imagine, like, if they both hit a body shot, Noah is not dead just yet, but very close. Like, that's like 140 something HP. Let me this quick math.
Well, that's also dependent on the range at which Greenie is shooting, because he does suffer from that fall off damage.
A little bit, but Greenie is usually close enough. Like, he's at that range where he's usually gonna get it. So that's why I'm saying 140. I'm already accounting for that because I think it's officially 150 that you normally do.
And he is being power boosted by that Mercy, so that could change things as well.
Yeah, they essentially, if one of them hits a headshot and the other one hits a shot, then it works.
Lights out.
That's all they need. They tried to go with that pulse bomb onto Greenie, but they missed it. So Quirky has to try again here. And it's just going to be the Reaper and the Sombra on the point. But they can be there. But, you know, it doesn't really matter if everyone else is dead on the other side of the map. Because Greenie and D-Man are just holding the gate together with J-How. it's a pickle and a half they are riding through. It's not easy for them, and ultimates don't have to really be used from either side so far.
I think it's.
We're waiting
What's
for
most
the
interesting
MP.
to me is
We're
that
waiting, right? Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
what's most interesting to me is that Greenie and Logo Snail were almost just those two holding the door. Now the EMP does come in. Biolizard does take out Steel Grass, but Matamoto, NW Trent take down J-How and Logo Snail. Noah takes down Biolizard. Steel Grass does get rezzed. Bob coming in to take down the Sombra, but Matamoto doing his work. Here come the Dragons, but it's not enough, and that should do it.
Like, unlike on Horizon, the EMP actually got the value that it needed this time. Because on Horizon, it was mistimed, it wasn't an initiation, and this time they definitely played the EMP the way they needed to. So the fact that that got the value it needed was just everything that cleaned up the fight for them. Like, nothing. Of course, other things were needed as well, because you need to still kill everything, but they got enough value out of that EMP alone, getting 2 straight away, that they could just clean up afterwards if they played their cards correctly, and they did. So nicely done here from the Ohio Warriors. That means they're 3-0 up, and no, 2-0 actually, because we had a draw in the last one.
With a draw.
Only 2-0. Yeah, with the draw. That does mean the series has been decided already, though, if I'm not mistaken. So we can only get 2-2-1 still for map differential, or a 3-0. But the series cannot be won by TFDTV anymore, unfortunately.
That is correct. And we're going on to Dorado, or as I like to call it, Dorito. And we'll see who can push the payload farther.
Yeah, I mean, either of the team will have to. Although, I'm still hoping that one day I'm going to be that guy that casts a match that ends in a draw on Escort. Because it's never happened to me. I've never had it in one of my games, but I know it's possible, and I'm really curious to see how it, like, what's happening when it actually happens on stream, because that would be amazing.
That would be incredible. I don't know that I've ever seen an Escort match end in a draw.
I mean, not on stream.
At least in my personal experience of playing.
No.
Yeah. Generally, I just lose.
I know it's possible.
Terrible.
Blizzard has reported on it as well, that it is possible, and like there are certain points in which where it makes sense that it's possible. So, say you're in an overtime push on an Escort map, and you get to the first checkpoint or a second checkpoint, and then as you get the checkpoint, you get off the cart and the time ticks down. So you don't push the cart any further than where you got it on checkpoint 1 and 2, because it's the exact same position, and then the other team does the exact same thing, because the win condition is getting it like 1,000, what's it called, a millimeter further than the checkpoint. But if you get off the cart, it doesn't move anymore. So like there are points in the map where you can stop it at the same time, where there is no difference in how far anyone got. So yeah, that like it's theoretically possible. It's practically been done, but I've just never seen it personally.
Traveling to Dorado.
So we are starting up here with TFD attacking first. We do have a little bit of a pause for a disconnect from Noah. So we'll go ahead and talk about. The Yankees had a fantastic homestand this past week.
Look, I wouldn't know, because I'm cultured. I live in Europe, so I have no clue what you're talking about here. But that's fine.
Well, how about that?
Want to talk about them?
Speaking of Europe, I did happen to find out that the West Indies were defeated by New Zealand in the Cricket World Cup.
Yeah, I mean that's another sport that rarely people ever talk about. So that's fine. Yeah, no, I'm from one of those parts of Europe that wasn't colonized by the British, so like we don't know anything about like ex-colony sports, because cricket is the reason why the West Indies have crickets is because of the British, and why Australia is cricket and why New Zealand is cricket. It's all because of the British. And like we don't, because I'm Dutch, so like we help the British colonize things, because you know we made sure that their maritime power was on par, but everything else, nah, we're fine. Like we were the traders, and we still are. So that's what we do. But hey, speaking about money, do you know where money flows only to honest sources? It's in Dorado. That's like, you know, you have clean energy, a nice leader of the Lumerica corporation. Like everything just works there. It's just, I think it's the one place on Earth where corruption is like the furthest thing from happening. I don't know. That could just be me.
Maybe no corruptions, but bank robberies definitely.
Yeah, but I mean that's such a shame, right? Because all that money that wouldn't have gone to corrupt people is now gone. So like they have to like start again and get that money back somehow. Maybe they were insured. I don't know. I mean, you always hear that, right, from banks. Like, oh yeah, we're fine being robbed. We're insured anyway. Like I don't know how that works, but apparently that's a thing. What does bother me though is that like as innovative they are with like clean energy, etc., they apparently don't know things about general construction because the holes in the wall are still there. So like the tunnel is still completely. They haven't locked up the safe anymore. I don't know what they're doing.
Well, there's
I don't know how
nothing
long
left in the safe to guard anymore.
Well, I mean, but that's the thing. So then they don't have insurance. Is that what you're saying? It's like the money is actually like they're kind of get the money back. So that means they don't have money to pay for the refurbishing of the whole safe.
Well,
Or
again,
are they just like, or it's a 3-year project because it's gone slightly outside of the schedule that they planned for it. That's another option.
and
like construction
again, that is the
workers.
benefit of credit as well as
Mhm.
insurance, because you don't necessarily have that money right away, but you do have it in time.
Mm-hmm. Does look like we're finally back, guys. Back to go get that bread for anyone. Well, I mean, the bread's already been gone, really. Like we already have the win, but maybe FDTV can show a little bit of strength here on Dorado and catch map point. That would always be nice for their standings.
That would be that plays a big role, especially when it comes down to the playoffs.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, obviously the playoffs are still whiles away, still only in the beginning of the stage, but it's always something that you need to look out for. You know, the stages are only the beginning of a season, so starting out strong is always gives you a nice buffer for the next step. Maybe meta shifts come, maybe something else happens. So you have to be prepared for the future. So
Precisely.
let's see where they're gonna go with this. I hope we're gonna get underway a little bit sooner here because I just waiting for the game to get going again. Does look like we're getting the on pause finally. Sorry, I sounded a bit impatient there. I was actually enjoying a nice buzzing sound on the map of Dorado, but
And if you hold tab, it gets even louder.
exactly. But that's what you want, right? Like you want the loudest possible noise from your Overwatch game, so you can actually hear the footsteps. What I've heard though is footsteps are not going to be a thing anymore because you can just read subtitles now, guys. Be like,
Right?
guys, I heard footsteps. No, I read footsteps. Sorry, I mispronounced that. I read footsteps,
I read
guys. I
footsteps.
read them.
They were in
I read
parentheses,
them.
but I read the footsteps.
Yes. Roadhog makes footstep noises. That's just what's going to be there. It's not exactly how it works, but it's sort of like you will hear Sombras come out of Invis, or you read Sombras coming out of Invis if they're close enough to you. So Zenyatta's rejoice. You can now finally predict EMPs to come out without having to listen.
Listening's overrated anyway.
It is. A lot of people say it is. And I think it's true to a degree. Although I do always find myself playing better when I don't listen to music while playing Overwatch. So there might be some truth to that. What we do see on the defense here, though, once again, from it's a double sniper. So no NW trend on that one. But with the Orisa and with the Zarya and the Reinhardt. Normally last time it was with the Orisa, and they're not choosing to do that this time. On the attack though, they're probably scouting a little bit what's gonna happen. I don't know if Greeneat's gonna stay on the Genji here. He could though. I mean, they have the Ana, they have the synergy.
It'll be interesting to see if he can get up behind them to do any damage. Greenie does fall from a headshot.
They do have the res though, so that they have that in the back pocket. Jayhow's on the McCree, by the way, so we don't have the main tank Jayhow, except the McCree Jayhow, and he already falls.
And as you said, the res is down. So this truck is going to stop right here for just a second while they go ahead and read it. Trent headshots Greeny again. D-Man does fall to Steelgrass on the Rhine. And Noah takes down 6ixGuns. This fight is all Ohio. J-Hal does fall to Noah. And Ohio Warriors just enforcing their will right now on defense. You do see the ball taking a little flank route, but we'll see what happens.
Well, I mean, they have to get some more to the backline. Essentially, what they want to do here is they want to have the Genji, the Tracer, and the Wrecking Ball all going behind them and doing some damage, while the supports and McCree pushing the cart and fighting from the other angle. But it's not really, it hasn't really worked out for them so far.
No, and Trent coming up on those wall hacks while Quirky's about 70% to that grab. There is no real defensive ult for TFD to deal with that wombo combo, as Matamoto does take down D-Man on the Tracer. J-Hal falls. J-Hal and BioLizard both fall to Trent on that Widow.
I mean, they shouldn't need a defensive ultimates for a grab, because they should have the mobility and the space that they're using to not all get grabbed at the same time. So the combo of the Hanzo Zarya should not get anything more than 1, maybe 2 kills. And, you know, if they cannot...
D-Man gets a pick there on Noah.
Nice one.
Good way to start a
fight. So the combo does it. Yeah, combo can't even come out of the Hanzo is dead. So that's a nice start for them. Oh, the shatter though.
Big shatter. And asleep on J-Hal. He does get the nano, but so does Steelgrass. As the beat comes down, just swing city in there.
Greeny had the nano blade out there, so finally got through that sound barrier and everything to get 2 kills out of that. It looks like they might be able to get point A straight away from this, but they do have to keep on pushing, and the defense could still come in. Yeah, they will likely do it, but Noah's down again, so they still can't use the combo they were waiting for. Quirky might just use the grab vanilla here. No.
J-Hal does fall, but Steelgrass is really low on that point. Greeny coming in to take him down. Quirky just trying to survive and hold as long as he can, but there is
all about that anti-nade. All about that anti-nade from 6ixGuns. Has been hitting so many good ones today. That was another beauty. It's yeah, it's 6ixGuns showing up on that Ana. Very nice.
It's a beautiful first point taken by TFD. D-Man does get shot in the face by NW Trent. But Greeny reflects one back to take down Trent. J-Hal falls to Noah on the Hanzo with the machine gun arrow. And 3 people on point. 3 people coming back. And Ohio's taking high ground here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what they're going to do with this. I'm curious to see if they're still going to use that combo, because they've had it for like 2 or 3 fights now. And they're just not using it. They're still not using it. I don't think they need to use it here, but they're still not using it. They're still waiting for that to come out. Quirky Noah is just having their ultimates for forever, really. And now if there's more ultimates online for the attack, they have another Nano Blade, which cannot be blocked by anything this time, because they don't have the sound barrier this time.
Oof, that could spell some damage there for Ohio. But they could counter that with the grab.
They could, maybe. I don't know if you want to use a graph for a Nano Blade. You could, but I don't know if it's worth it. It kind of depends on what happens in the rest of the fight. And if the Nano Blade, it's already been used and then, you know, gets used again, gets out a combo that had been waiting for like 5 fights to use, then I'd say that's more worth for the Genji than it is for the Zarya Hanzo, especially with the ult advantage they have.
Well, and see, there it is. You don't necessarily have to use the Hanzo as long as you can control. Oh, and Whitaker still falls. You still have to take down Greeny on that Genji. J-Hal takes down Quirky on the Zarya. Noah takes down BioLizard. And this fight still looks like it's being pushed by TFD, but here comes Steelgrass and Matamoto. Logo Snail does fall to Noah. J-Hal all alone there, but here comes BioLizard. don't think it's going to be enough. Ohio looks like they should hold this right here, and they do.
60 seconds.
Yeah, they do, and it was looking okay for FD. Wow, FDVTTV for a little bit, but it didn't actually come out in their favor in the end. They're gonna try again here. Battle Lizard has the mines, but there's still so many ultimates in the defense that it's gonna be rough for them to pull this one out. And hey, at least they got some more progress this time.
Oh, Matamoto does fall to the mines. Noah takes out Logo Snail on the Mercy, though. D-Man does take down Trent, but then Noah takes out 6ixGuns. No healers still pushing the point, because the point does heal, folks. Genji, get on the point. Steelgrass trying to hold up. Quirky, Matamoto, and Whitaker all getting back on the point. People have to go down if they want that point to move, but instead it's Trent taking down Logo Snail on the Mercy. Trent then takes out Logo Snail. Quirky kills Bio Lizard. Here comes the Dragons finally. Looks like it's just for zoning. It's gonna kill 6ixGuns.
Ooh, gets the kill even, wow.
And Genji trying to come in, but it's not enough. They do almost get around that last corner to the second point, though. So we'll see what Ohio can do.
It's gonna switch here. So they have to still push it past the first checkpoint and beyond if they want to win this map. But you know that is something that doesn't always happen, right? So it's literally the thing here that first point holds are a pretty common thing on Dorado lately. But then again, once you get the first point, getting further than what FDDTV, I just can't get it out of my mouth anymore. But they were able to get on their attack, like getting further than that point on the map is pretty common. That's like not a very hard thing to do. So it's all about how quickly they cap point A and are then able to push into point B, in order to determine if they're going to be able to do it, really. Because like if you don't have a lot of time left and you're at an ultimate disadvantage, then holding it there is relatively easy to do. But if they in their first push get it to point A, then they're likely just going to win the map outright.
Noah is back on that Doomfist. We'll see if he can do some damage, while Trent back on that Sombra. Hopefully for Ohio Warriors' sake, he can have EMPs more like Eichenwald than Horizon if they want to be successful here. Nobody really doing a whole lot, just Trent kind of checking to see what they got. He does go back and switch to that Genji.
Yeah. I mean, they just wanna try and break it in a very similar fashion. But is Noah gonna be as much of a menace on the Doomfist this time around? That's really what we're looking for, right? Because he needs to get some value out of this in order to make it worth it.
Now they do have Greeny falls to Trent, which is a very big Doomfist. I won't say counter, but counter. He does get rezzed, but D-Man on the May, they've got a lot of things to stop Noah on that Doomfist.
Yeah, I mean they finally figured it out. I think a big part of it as well is that he's now doing it on the attack as opposed to on the defense. So normally when they were on the defense, they had this trick where they could sort of go around them and then poke them in the back a little bit. But then they had the safety of returning to their team, and they don't really have that when you do it on the attack. The space creation and the capitalization on space is very different, because there's nothing that has to move on the side of FDVTV.
Greeny does fall quickly to Trent, but Logo Snail does res him again for this fight. Here comes the... That's something you don't see every day. A Nano May. Bio Lizard does take down Steelgrass on the Winston, and Noah on that Hanzo. Another good little hold here from around the corner for TFD TV. A regroup. I can't get over the Nano May.
Yeah, it does a lot of damage. I mean, that snow itself, it pierces as well, right? So it's almost like you're doing the Winston zap, but with May. And the range is pretty good on it as well. So it's a little bit different, but it's still pretty effective. Nice sleep dart of the steel grass.
A wonderful sleep dart. And he's frozen, and he's frozen again during his ultimate. Trent
as well.
Oh, Trent did not get frozen there, but he
was
did
close.
Get flashbang. D-Man taking down Noah, Greeny killing the mech for Diva. Logo Snail with the res, but J-Hal takes down Trent, and BioLizard finishes off the baby Diva. And
It's getting interesting now, guys. It's getting interesting. There's 1 minute 15. 1 minute 15, and that BioLizard Haruto showing up once again. Quirke it's on the Zarya. They're gonna look to go for that dragon combo again. But, you know, will it be enough? Once again, it's always that question. Will it be enough? And will they get it up in time? Because they only have a minute. And Zarya can sometimes have trouble building that one. Oh, the freeze!
Steelgrass on the Rhine falls, but here comes Dragons from Noah taking down Greeny. Gets nobody else. Steelgrass being pulled back up by Whitaker, while Trent headshotting the Mercy. Noah does take down J-How with that machine gun arrow. BioLizard just trying to save face, killing NW Trent. Steelgrass does take down D-Man and BioLizard, and they're gonna get the first point here.
And now it's going to be interesting. There's 3 minutes is still almost. There's a lot to work with for this next phase. And they only have the Valkyries. They're not like in a really big ult advantage or anything. And that nano from 6ixG could at least help J-House solidify a little bit of position here. And BioLizard on the Hammond as well. So much high ground to work with. Yeah, gotta watch out for Noah though, because he's going around the back. And already gets 6ixG.
Oh, and Trent takes down Greeny, who could be their most powerful DPS in this situation. Noah trying to do some damage, but not finding any homes yet. Steelgrass does take down BioLizard on that hamster, and Trent headshots Mercy again. J-How very low here in Swing City. He does get the nano to get some health back, but right now Ohio Warriors just pushing the point forward on him.
And they're getting so close here. There is a little bit more room to contest here, so BioLizard does manage to get the contest in. J-How charging
good charge on Steelgrass, but he does live. Here comes the Nano Zarya. J-How falling to Steelgrass, but D-Man trying to freeze them all. He does get pulled up in a grab, goes into ice block. BioLizard falls. Logo Snail just trying to survive. And here comes those dragons. But is it enough? Oh, and takes down 6ixG as well.
Oh. Wow.
Snipers just putting out too much damage.
Yeah, that's really rough.
Overall.
Oh yes, they haven't played the game with a dramatic. Oh, this is. If you're gonna say thing about the best things added to the game, I think that's has to be one of, if not the best thing that's been added to the game. It's so amazing. It's so good. I mean, it just brings back the
drama.
90s that I love, you know?
Just brings on the drama. Overall, very well played by both teams. Very well set up. Ohio obviously coming out the victor there just by small situations where they did win a little bit more. But overall, very well played on both sides. And a fantastic match. We're glad that you all got to see it. We're glad that we got.
Yeah, I mean, getting to see matches is always something we're looking forward to, and we got to see more and more every single time. So we're looking forward to the rest of this cup. Looking forward to seeing what these teams can do in the future, and yeah, gonna get it going, guys.
We're looking forward to it every single day. Man of Class, why don't you go ahead and sign us off for this evening, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Yeah, well, I mean, so I'm a Man of Class, obviously, casting with the wonderful Det, and yeah, this has been it for us for tonight. I'm hoping to see everyone in the next one, and until then, guys, stay safe out there, and see you in the next one.